Hello, welcome to Oxford Heirlooms. In this video, we're going to be hemming the silk lining of the sleeves, okay? Now, how we do this is I'm going to, first, I'm going to quickly hem the bottom 1/4 inch of the lining. Then we'll pin it to 1/4 inch above the top of the hemline. Then we'll do some ladder stitches to hold it into place. And then finally, we will press it into place. And we will create what gentlemen have in their jackets. It's called a wearing ease pleat. This is so that, the same way we've got this easing pleats in the back, to accommodate movements of the back of the body. We need to be able to accommodate some movement of the elbow. And if the silk lining has an easing pleat, that can prevent sometimes these seams from coming undone. Okay, now on the other sleeve, I've already got the sleeve inside out, and it is inside of the lining. Now, what I have done preliminarily was I folded that lining over by 1/4 inch, and I sewed the lining into place. Now, I need to make sure that my two seams on the lining match up with the seams on the jacket. So let me ease this into place real quickly. Just make sure. Okay, here's the front seam, and this is the front seam. So I'm going to line up these two front seams, overlap that hem by about 1/4 inch, and I'm going to put a pin in there. Okay, now I'm going to go all the way around. Let's see if I can go here to the, well, it doesn't. Okay, now the other seam is at the beginning of the vent. So if I hold this up, line it up, let's see, let's kind of eyeball that. That's about 1 1/8 inches. So I'm going to ease that into place. That's all even about 1 1/8 inches, isn't it? And I'll put another pin in there. So I will just continue to pin going around the hem of the cuff, just catching the first hem with the silk lining. And come on back around this way. I think we'll put one more pin in right here. Okay. All right, now I've got a needle and thread with 2 strands of thread in it. So I'm going to start, I think I'll start over here at the vent. Okay, at the vent seam. Okay, now we're going to do ladder stitches. So I'm going to take a little stitch right here at that seam to catch that. If I was smart, I would have put that knot on the inside, but I guess it really won't matter. It's not going to show because the easing seam will come down. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the velvet without piercing the outside of the velvet. I'm going to follow the velvet by about 3/8 inch. Okay, take that pin out already. So I'm coming out on the velvet. Then I'm going to go in on the silk, and I will follow the fold of the silk. Let me see if I can do this at this angle. Let's see, I'm going to go into the silk, into the fold of the silk, and follow the fold for about 3/8 of an inch, and then come back out on the silk side. And then I'm going to alternate. Now I'm going to go in on the velvet side, just go behind the hem without piercing through to the outside, about 3/8 of an inch, and we'll come back out on the velvet side again. And then we'll alternate, go in on the silk side, let's see if I can do this with the camera in front of me. Just follow the fold of the folded silk for about 3/8 of an inch. Come back out again. Now we're on the silk side, so we're going to pierce on the velvet side again without going all the way through. Just follow the velvet for about 3/8 of an inch and come back out on the velvet again. So we're going to continue this stitch motion. It makes kind of an invisible stitch, but I guess it's officially called a ladder stitch. So we will follow the fold of the silk for about 3/8 of an inch and then come back through. Now we'll alternate and follow behind the velvet for about 3/8 of an inch and come back out. And just go backward and forward, and eventually this line of thread is going to hold the silk lining to the inside of the hem. So I'm going to finish this sewing off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got that lining sewn on with the ladder stitches. Now, as I smooth out the lining with the sleeve of the coat, you can see we've got a little bit of looseness down here. So we're going to pull it until it comes down over this ladder stitch. We'll pull the ladder stitch down. Okay, and then we'll go to the ironing board and use my little sleeve ironing board, my little miniature tiny ironing board, and we will press that silk lining until it's in place. You know, it's always nice because, you know, you want to have a little bit of give in here, but you don't want the lining to be so long that it actually extends out of the sleeve cuff. So let me go to the ironing board and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got that pressed now, and we've got that easement all the way. There's a little bit of looseness right here at the bottom of the lining, the way it should be for a male's jacket. But in this video, we were hemming the silk of the sleeve. Now, in the next video, we will begin to work on the bottom of the jacket. We've got some longer, it's much longer hem than simply hemming the sleeve, but we will do it in a very similar way. We will, first, you know, we will use the herringbone stitches to tack down the velvet. Then we will use the ladder stitch to sew on the silk lining, and then we'll iron it into place. But that's for the next video. But this video, like I said, we were doing the sleeve. Thank you.